Tonight on KGW News, why Oregon's elections office got so overwhelmed with calls they had to shut down their phones. Also tonight, in a brand new Pacific Storyland, how a group of friends is turning their love for gardening into a mission to give back.
It feeds our souls like our food feeds people that are hungry.
Plus, uncertainty on the ground if Portland pulls out of a deal with the county to run homeless services.
It would be catastrophic. We wouldn't exist without that funding.
But first, new body cam video of a tense negotiation with an armed man that ended in a police shooting.
Nick, I think you're saying a lot of really important things, and I want to hear them.
Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko. Police released that video 2 weeks after an officer shot and killed the man at a Southeast Portland apartment complex. A warning, some people may find the video hard to watch, though it helps give context to the events of that night. And while you won't see the man getting hit, you will hear the gunshot. Here is Kyle Aboshi.
Portland police officers were responding to a report of a man with a rifle yelling and making threats at his apartment building on Southeast Lambert just after midnight on Friday, October 4th. Police body cam video shows him threatening officers. A negotiator tries to talk with him.
No, we don't want to do that, Nick. We don't want to be blowing anybody away.
Video shows the man raising a rifle several times, and police say at one point he shot it in the air and said it was a pellet gun. He was also armed with a knife, according to police. Negotiators talked with him for a half an hour before a Portland officer fired the deadly shot. Here are the seconds leading up to that from the view of several officers on scene.
I really want to hear what you're saying, and I don't want your neighbors to hear all of your business. I just want to give you privacy.
The negotiator can be heard saying an expletive just after the shot was fired. Another view shows the officer who fired the gun. He's been identified as Andrew Young, who's been with the Portland Police Bureau for 7 years. It's not clear what the man did just before the shot was fired. Afterward, police confirm the man had a .22 caliber pellet air rifle. Police later identified the man who was shot as 28-year-old Nicholas Thorne. He died on the scene. The officer involved is on administrative leave. Kyle Aboshi, KGW News.
Developing this evening, police have identified the suspect in a shooting this afternoon near the Islamic School of Portland. He is now charged with attempted murder. Alma McCarty breaks down what we know.
Thursday afternoon, police cars surrounded a Shell gas station in southwest Portland, the spot where officers found a man hit by a bullet.
That individual has since been transported to an area hospital. His condition and the extent of his injuries are unclear at this point.
Police say the shooting happened in this parking lot behind the Islamic School of Portland. And as the victims showed up at the gas station next door, the alleged shooter, they say, went into the school, which was still in session.
Needless to say, they probably heard something, might have seen someone come in. That's troubling. Our hearts go out to those kids, to the staff. Nobody should have to be involved in something like this.
Officers say the suspect walked out of the school without incident and was taken into custody. PPB seized his gun and later ID'd him as 42-year-old Noureddin Dib of Beaverton. Investigators say the suspect and the victim, both adult men, knew each other and have a connection to the school and to the nearby mosque.
In other words, this is a very isolated incident.
Chief Bob Day reiterating that message and writing, to be clear, this shooting was not a school shooting or a biased crime. Events like this one are a testament to the critical need for our strong partnership with the Muslim community. Now, along with attempted murder, the suspect was also charged with assault and unlawful use of a weapon. David?
Alma McCarty reporting. Thank you, Alma. Around the same time this afternoon, police responded to the Tualatin High School campus for a fight involving students. Police ended up arresting one person, referring 2 others to the county juvenile program. We're told the fight happened in the library and students were held in their classrooms until authorities arrived. One student suffered minor injuries. And new tonight, we're hearing the story of another school disturbance, this time at Portland's Da Vinci Middle School, where parents say their son was stabbed with a pencil multiple times last week. The Jones family says their son had been saving a seat for someone when another student smashed their binder on the table and began to stab their son in the head with a pencil. They said another student tried to stop and was also hurt before a teacher then intervened.
She literally had to put the kid in a chokehold from behind and hold his wrist that he was stabbing our son with and drag him back with his feet dragging to get him away from our child because he would not stop.
The Jones said their son suffered multiple injuries while the other student received a 3-day suspension. We reached out to PBS, who said they, quote, addressed this incident promptly following our disciplinary policies that reinforce accountability. They added they could not comment on any more details. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines, Clackamas County Commissioners gave the green light today to turn an old elementary school into a recovery center. The goal is to help people suffering from substance abuse with detox, stabilization, and much more. Some of the neighborhood near Southeast 92nd worry about an increase in crime or declining property values, though commissioners stress there will be accountability. The next steps are to change zoning and find funding partners. Multnomah County's Joint Office of Homeless Services is responding tonight to the possibility of the city pulling its funding. As we reported last night at 11, Portland City Commissioners are considering ending the contract with the county that partially funds the office, saying the county is not meeting milestones. The head of the Joint Office says that leaves hundreds of nonprofits that rely on that money bracing for what's to come.
The fact that that could go away is really scary and daunting, not knowing all the ramifications of what that might look like if the city were to withdraw from that, especially without a plan.
And I want to reassure our nonprofit partners that the work they're doing is very valued, and we will continue to support them.
City Council would still need to vote on this and give the county 90 days notice before cutting off that funding. And Oregon's Elections Division shut down its phone lines today after a surge of out-of-state callers bombarded the office, wondering why former President Trump was not part of the voter pamphlet. Social media posts incorrectly blame Oregon elections officials for leaving him out, though, as we have been reporting, the Secretary of State's office and the state Republican Party say Trump's campaign decided not to submit a statement for that pamphlet. He and J.D. Vance are still on the ballot. Oregon Secretary of State asked people to stop spreading rumors. Hey, a quick reminder in the race for Portland Mayor, if you didn't catch the KGW and Oregonian debate, you can watch it anytime on your schedule. Check out what the top 5 candidates had to say about homelessness, public safety, leadership, and more. Just download the KGW Plus app, available for free on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and Apple TV. Well, now to an update on the I-5 expansion through the Rose Quarter. ODOT today saying it missed out on hundreds of millions of dollars in federal funding. The agency applied for a $750 million federal grant, which did not come through. The project, which would add lanes to I-5 and also put a cover over the interstate through the Rose Quarter, is expected to cost up to $1.9 billion. ODOT did get a different federal grant earlier this year and plans to start the project with that money in 2027, then continue to apply for other future grants. They'll also ask the state for more funding during the next legislative session. Straight ahead on KGW News at 11, a backyard garden grows into a community service project, giving a group of friends a special purpose and a good excuse to throw a party. That's a new Pacific Storyland coming your way. Plus, on the verge of being endangered, researchers look into what's causing an Oregon population to dwindle. Matt?
All right, David, it is getting chilly out there. Temperature in Portland already down into the 40s. We've got freeze warnings and frost advisories around Oregon, but with the clear sky out there, you can also get a great glimpse of the full moon. More pictures and video, and a look at your weekend, too.